and good afternoon. I appreciate everyone that's here today, especially all the folks that are here behind me supporting H7900 and Senate Bill S2336, sponsored by myself. I'm the main sponsor on the House side, Representative Scott Slater, and Senator Elizabeth Crowley on the Senate side. We also have Senator Paul Jabor with us today and Senator Jeannie Culkin, who's supporting this legislation. So I appreciate their support on this legislation, and I know Senator Crowley does as well. The Home Energy Rate Affordability Act is what we're here on today. I know I have a lot of residents that are behind me and folks from George Wiley Center. I'd like to thank, first of all, some of my co-sponsors on this legislation, Representative Diaz, Handy, Blazajewski, and Maldonado, who couldn't be here at this time. They have other commitments, but they're 100% behind this and been supportive, so thank you. Why should you support Pipp? Pipp stands for Percentage Income Payment Plan, recognizing that utility service is a basic need and an essential element of adequate housing. Pipp programs help make sure all have access to affordable utility service. Under Pipp, low-income households pay a fixed percentage of their income for utility bills. The percentage depends on federal poverty level of that household. Those with the highest federal poverty level pay the smallest percentage of their income for utility bills. Right now, Rhode Islanders living under the federal poverty line roughly spend 44% of their income on utilities. Just think about that number. 44% of your income goes to your utilities before anything else. It's unbelievable, and I don't know how so many families are struggling to get by at these high percentages. This is why we need to do Pipp right now, this session. That's one of the number one reasons. While storm-related temporary power outages make the news, each year thousands of Rhode Islanders are put through the trauma of utility termination due to unaffordable bills. In 2016, over 18,000 households were terminated from electricity service, and over 8,000 households were terminated from gas service. Too many goes weeks and months without access to basic needs. Just imagine what a problem that creates for so many of our residents in this state. I mean, you're talking about vulnerable folks, people, even oxygen that they have in their house, folks that have elderly that need the utilities on a regular basis. And what happens is it sends these folks into high-cost alternatives that the state has to end up picking up, rather than keeping them in their home and having their utility bills affordable, which saves everyone in the long run. It saves our entire state, and this is why this Pipp programs across the nation gets bipartisan support in a lot of states. So I know, speaking on finance the other night when we had the hearing, even a lot of my Republican colleagues could see the need for this legislation. But a Pipp plan would allow people with the lowest incomes to pay a more manageable amount of their utilities and help stop the shut-off crisis in Rhode Island. And some folks have asked, has Pipp been done before? And yes, it's been done right here in Rhode Island. In the late 1980s, it lasted successfully for several years before being phased out due to the federal LAHEAP funding. Currently, over a dozen states such as Ohio, New Jersey, and Maine have successful Pipp programs. In Illinois, for example, Pipp lowered 90% of elderly customers' heating bills, more than any other utility assistance plan did. I know we have plans right now, but we really need a Pipp program to help out our most vulnerable citizens and those under the federal poverty level. So I thank everyone again for being here today. I did say Representative Regenberg was here.